Not feeling too well. Let's start with the beginning. This morning, I went to work with the car, and I had Gabriel with me, but he was on another truck again, so he had to wait in the afternoon for me. And that had some, to do with different things. First of all, we were half an hour in the route, and our truck broke down. It didn't. It blocked all the containers, and it didn't weigh anymore. So we called the mechanic. He told us to do some stuff to try to reset it and stuff, and it didn't work. So we had to go back to work, and the mechanic looked at it, and he did some things, and suddenly it stopped. Suddenly it started working again, and they actually didn't really know what was wrong, but it worked again. So we went back, and we didn't have any trouble anymore until much later, but it was an entirely different thing, something that didn't have anything to do with the first one. But then people had to come and help us, and we already had some extra work too. We knew that from yesterday already. We had to go to another city and pick up some containers. Um, that's called recreational containers, or I don't know if the translation is good, but it's usually containers. Usually they're big containers from parties or fests or people who stayed at a campsite or something like in that order. And we had actually four addresses, but then some people were helping us, and one guy asked if he could come and help me too, and I mean, he was too far away. We were three trucks already on a small piece of route, and then he said, "Maybe I can. Did you do the things in the other city? Maybe I can do that." I said, "Yeah, but I have these papers with me, and you have to, fill them in and put the weights in and stuff." He said, "Yeah, but that's no problem. I will do it." And it was a guy that I don't know if I told you. Like, I think it was almost a fortnight ago that I made this mistake in not telling a guy that my colleague had to be home early, and he was a little mad, a little angry about that, and that we just talked it out. And apparently it helped, because this guy just asked me, "Yeah, look, I want to do that. Normally they come and help on your route, but normally they don't help out with these things." Uh, so he did one. I gave him one of the four. I gave him actually the biggest one. It was 10 big containers, but I gave him only one, and I gave him the one closest to the dump site. So he was earlier than us, and then we went our first address, and it were slightly bigger containers, 250-liter containers. Normally we do 120 to and 40-liter containers. Sometimes we have a 240-liter container on the route too. These were like 10 250 liter containers. So we did them, and then we went to the second site, and we had a big container, and there it all went wrong again, and we couldn't start it up again. We did one, and it came down, and then it didn't want to go up, and all the lights were burning, and I don't know what. So I called the mechanic. He didn't know what it was. He said, try to restart it again, and if not, try to uh, open it up or something. Try something. If not, call again. And then I went to the back, to the loading space, and then I noticed that one of the sensors, they're like fingers, and they have to be like this. And when the container picks it up, it goes like this, and then it goes up. It's like for the container to keep going up. And this finger, it was stuck. It stayed like this. So the the machine thought it was already up, and it was down. So anyway, we fixed the problem, and that was it. Uh, Apart from that, um, I at some point around 10:30 started to get cramps. My stomach started to hurt. I started to have cramps, and it stayed. It came in like in waves, and then at one point about noon, I just couldn't hold it anymore. So I took some paper that I found in the truck, a roll of paper, and I went into a wooded area, and I took a dump. Um, it was just, I mean, I couldn't keep it up anymore. And then the cramps were over, but by the time I uh, came back to work, where I had to fill the truck with diesel, I had to fill it. I mean, you can't fill it faster than the thing goes, but I started getting cramps again, and I went to the toilet, and now I'm home, and I ate something, and I'm kind of feeling these cramps coming up again. It's not as bad as it was before, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to see if this how this plays out. I'm hoping it plays out good, but hey, but that's life. So we have to keep the optimism into it, because I mean you can't handle it. And then when I came home, I heard my wife was feeling bad too, and she's starting to have stomach aches too. So I think we have the same thing. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out, and hoping to see you tomorrow in good health. Bye.